Across this 2-week course, I'll highlight some of the differences between a coach-centered and a player-centered approach, give practical examples of how to apply a player-centered approach, and outline a model of how people learn, all within the context of the art of coaching. Let's start with the art of coaching. Ken Wilber's map of human potential has 4 quadrants. The top 2 relate to the individual and the bottom 2 to the collective, which is the team or organization in this case. The 2 left-hand quadrants relate to the intangible, immeasurable, and invisible aspects of the individual in the top left and of the team in the bottom left. For example, in the top left are those intangible things like thoughts and emotions, and in the bottom left are things like team culture and team spirit. The 2 right-hand quadrants relate to the visible, measurable, and tangible aspects of the individual at the top and the team at the bottom right. For example, in the top right quadrant are things like the individual's skill or fitness level that can be easily seen and measured. And in the bottom right are things like team tactics and strategies, things that can be mapped out on paper or on a whiteboard and can be seen on a video replay. The 2 right-hand quadrants are what I call the science of performance, which is everything that can be measured and which currently enjoys the lion's share of most coaching approaches and coaching courses. The left-hand side covers the art of performance, also referred to as the soft skills, which are more difficult to measure and which generally receive less attention than the science. Ever heard people say that the game is 80% in the mind? Most athletes and coaches will agree. How come then do most athletes and coaches spend well over 80% of their time and efforts working on the physical skills and strategies while neglecting to work with the mind? What's important here is that all quadrants need to be included when you're looking to coach or lead others, and all of them affect each other. Let's take an example. In a physical sport like football, if one team member is visibly unfit, which is visible in the top right, it may well have occurred because, say, of his lack of a commitment, which is in the top left, which might leave his teammates feeling unhappy and frustrated in the bottom left, and towards the end of the game, he might not be fully able to execute on the team strategy, which is a bottom right problem. From this, we see that a problem and its solutions can be viewed and addressed from in any of the 4 quadrants. A coach could work on, for example, changing the player's attitude in the top left, on working on how the team supports the player to get fitter in the bottom left, or on strategically substituting him in the game before he gets fatigued, which is a bottom right strategy, or prescribing different exercises that he might like, providing him a better diet plan, or giving him an ultimatum to improve his fitness, which occurs in the top right. If we only focus on one quadrant, however, we might miss the things that's going to make the biggest difference to the player or to that particular occasion. So that's one framework to view the full extent of the coaching landscape. I'll be referring to these 4 quadrants throughout the course, so it might be useful to make a copy for easy reference.